is your first time here, then hi, my name is Lauren, and on my channel we mostly talk about anything luxury, but we also discuss lifestyle and beauty. So if you're interested in any of these topics, please consider subscribing to my channel, and we'll get started with the video. So in today's video, I'm presenting you my entire Cartier jewelry collection. And when I say entire, it doesn't mean that I have like 5,000 pieces, but I still have a couple of nice ones to show you. So if you're interested in finding out which ones I have, then please keep on watching. So I was kind of wondering how I was going to organize this video, whether I was going to organize it chronologically or by jewelry type or like category of jewelry. And I think that I will go chronologically. So the first piece that I ever got from Cartier is the Cartier Love Bracelet in white gold with 4 diamonds in the regular size. And mine is in size 14, which is the smallest size possible. I feel like this one fits very nicely for me. I love this bracelet. I still remember it. I think that I got it like about 2 years ago. And I still remember how excited I was and how like over the moon I was that I could finally have a Cartier piece. You know, I'm sure that you can hear from my accent. French is my first language, so for me, Cartier in my mind, even when I was growing up, was present. It was something that, you know, I thought that I would never attain. I thought that I would never be capable of buying myself such a nice bracelet. But that day finally happened, and I'm so glad that I got this one. This is an amazing bracelet and I would highly recommend it. And what's more, what I would highly recommend is that you wait and you save up some more in order to buy one with diamonds. So obviously it is a lot more expensive than just a simple one, but it's just so much different. It's just so much more like it has a wow factor to it that in my mind the plain regular one doesn't have anymore, because it's so like out there, it's so common, it's nothing like, you know, it's just like a bangle, it's nothing, duh. But I feel like this one is totally different and I love the diamonds. It really sparkles a lot. Of course, the quality from Cartier is amazing. By the way, I did do a 6 months wear and tear review. So if you're interested in finding out what my bracelet looked like after 6 months of daily wear, then I will go ahead and leave the link to that video in the little information link over here for you to see it. Yes, like I just mentioned, this is a bracelet that I wear daily. I do not remove it. I keep it on for a shower, workout, to go to sleep, to kind of do everything. I keep it on. I rarely remove it. I will remove it like maybe once a month or once every 2 months when I change my jewelry set. So on occasions, for occasions, I wear gold jewelry, and that's when I will switch this out for another Cartier bracelet that you will see in a minute. But other than that, I keep this on at all times. So I think that I like the convenience. Obviously, as you will hear in the wear and tear review, the wear and tear is a little iffy. That's to be expected for a Cartier Love bracelet of any size, of any gold color, with diamonds, without, it's the same. And I was kind of warned about that, and I knew, you know, kind of what I was going into. But I would highly recommend this one. I really like it. I think that, you know, it really adds a lot of wow factor, and the practicality of being able to never remove this is amazing. I still feel as excited as I was when I first got it to wear it every day. You know, sometimes I don't have the best days, and I think that happens to everyone. I'm the type of person who like never complains. But yeah, sometimes I don't have the best days, but when I look at this bracelet, I instantly like lift off and I feel like so much happier. So this would be definitely something that I would recommend. And by the way, I will of course include close-ups and then Modshots as well, so you can see, because I realize that this may not be as clear from me holding it out like this. up, we have the Cartier Justin Clou bracelet in yellow gold with some diamonds and also in the regular size. This time I also got the smallest size available, which was size 15 for this particular model. And I have to say that it is still a little bit too big. It's not like super duper big, but you'll see kind of like when I have the close-ups and the Modshots of it, you'll see that it's like not properly fitted to my wrist. It's like a little loose, which, you know, is something to kind of get used to. But for me, that's the downside of this bracelet. Like I've mentioned before, this is part of my occasion set of jewelry. So it's yellow gold, it's the type of jewelry that I wear only on occasions. So let's say once a month, maybe probably even less, like maybe once every 6 weeks to 2 months. So it isn't something that has a lot of wear and tear to it. But I also think that even if I had worn it a lot more, it wouldn't necessarily have that much wear and tear, simply because the surface of this bracelet that's touching, you know, a desk or anything that you're touching, like a table or whatever, is a lot smaller than the surface of a love bracelet. And I think that's kind of like where the difference comes from, really. I also feel like this one is rounded, or like round. It's like circular, shaped as a circle. But the other one is kind of like, you know, a thick kind of rectangular shape, and that definitely has a lot more like surface contact with whatever it is that you're touching. So that's definitely something to keep in mind if you're searching for something that has a lot less potential for wear and tear. This is an amazing option. I also love the fact that this is very edgy. It's very kind of, you know, special, out there. It's not like a basic bracelet or like a basic girl bracelet. That's the kind of vibe that I feel like the love bracelet has. And I have to say, even the one that I have, even the one with diamonds, of course you've seen this everywhere. It's nothing super special shape-wise, like model-wise. But here there's a lot more like research that's there in like how the bracelet is shaped and how it looks on your wrist. I really like this size and I feel like it's very comfortable. The upside of this bracelet is that it is a little bit easier to put on and to remove by yourself than the love bracelet. The love bracelet, there's kind of a little bit of like a learning process, but that's fine. I mean, that's, you know, to be kind of expected. But this one was a lot easier, so that's always nice. I feel like this one is such a special piece, but it's just that I don't wear it enough because it's in yellow gold. And, you know, I don't have that many occasions. Hopefully that will change in the near future, but like right now I don't have that many occasions. So I kind of regret getting it in yellow gold and kind of wish that I had gotten it in white gold, because this could be then part of my everyday jewelry and I feel like I would have a lot more joy out of it than just like that. But it's still an amazing piece nonetheless, and I would highly recommend it. I think that, you know, you can't go wrong with this, and I love the fact that it's a little bit more edgy. And when I say that, like, I'm a super classic person. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that, or you can guess, even if this is your first time seeing me, you can probably guess that I'm like the classic girl who's always like making safe choices, or safe fashion choices, let's say. But I still like this one. I still feel like it's like feasible to wear even for classic people, but it just adds a little like oomph element to it. The next piece that I got from Cartier is the Cartier Justin Clou ring, also in yellow gold and also with the diamonds, so it's like the matching piece with the bracelet that you just saw. And this one, really similar to the bracelet that you just saw, is also part of my occasion set. And I feel like for that reason, I do not wear this piece enough. I think it's so gorgeous and it's so beautiful. But again, probably since I got it, which was, I believe this one a little over a year ago, I've probably worn it, honestly, less than like 7 times. And it's like, it sounds so bad to say, but it's just because I don't have that many occasions. And so it's like, I'm in this situation where I don't wear it. Aside from that, I think the comfort level of this piece is amazing. I'm not a big ring person. I've never been the girl to have like 50 rings. And I feel like up until a certain age, I would say probably, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, actually in a very interesting way, this was my first ever ring. And this sounds so hard to believe, I know, for most people, especially given the fact that I've been married, but I actually never received like an engagement ring or a wedding band from my husband. So this was actually my first ever ring, and I got it, you know, from me to me kind of thing. So it's interesting that that was the piece that kind of like tipped me off and opened myself to the world of rings. Before that, I was kind of like, you know, they're nice, but nothing. Like, I wasn't like a huge fan. And that was the first piece where I was like, okay, this one is nice enough for me to actually want a ring and to want to wear one. And so I wasn't used at all to wearing one. So I think I first kind of like played with it a little bit. But other than that, I have to say that the comfort level really is amazing on this one. This is the type of ring that, like, if you're used to wearing rings even for a little bit, you forget that you have it immediately. And really similar to the bracelet, again, it really has this like factor of classy, but a little bit edgy at the same time, a little bit different, a little bit of a piece that you like look at. You know, I feel like when you look at someone's hands, like the first thing that you'll look at perhaps is the nail color, and then the second is the rings. And what you're expecting is like something, you know, like a wedding band, an engagement ring, more or less big, or like a little ring with like a little design with a little stone, but nothing like out of this world. And I really feel like here the design is so interesting, and it's very, very different from what you're used to seeing. So I like that, and I like the fact that it doesn't necessarily scream Cartier. If you're not somebody who's into brands, and if you're not somebody who's into jewelry, you would probably never figure that out. Whereas the Love one, it is so popular by now that everyone knows what it's like. Next up, we have exactly the same ring. So it's the Cartier Justin Clou ring, but this time it's in white gold, and again, it has the same diamonds. And this one is part of my everyday jewelry set. So that's kind of why I was able to tell you a lot about the comfort level of this particular ring. And it's not because, you know, I've worn the other one for 7 times, because I wouldn't really be able to share my opinion only relying on those 7 times. So I ended up getting this one as well as another one. I got both of them at the same time, but I went with this one first. And we won't talk about it for a very long time, simply because, well, we've already talked about it. I'm just saying this is the one that I wear every day. I love it. It has the same wow factor. So now let's move on to the other piece that I got at the same time. So the piece that I got at the same time as the Justin Clou ring is the Cartier Love Wedding Band. It's in white gold and it has 1 diamond. And this is also the ring that I wear with my everyday jewelry set. So that means that I use kind of both as a stack. So I use both this one and then the Cartier Justin Clou ring in white gold as a stack. And I love to stack them on top of one another. So I use first this one. That's the first one I put on, and then the Justin Clou one. And I feel like really they are an amazing set together. I really couldn't consider having either one or the other just by themselves. I feel like, you know, the Love Band, it's a little bit too much like a wedding band for me. Even though I obviously do not wear it on my ring finger, it still feels a little bit too wedding-y or engagement-y. And then just the Justin Clou on its own, it's a little bit, not necessarily too edgy, but it's very edgy just for me. And so I feel like what I like about this is that they kind of balance each other out. They make it such that both of them make it a semi-classy, semi-edgy option, like right in the middle, right in the sweet spot of where I want to be. So I love this so much. This is what I would recommend. Like out of this whole video, this ring stack is what I would recommend. And it's weird because it's actually not incredibly expensive. It's nowhere near my most expensive pieces, but it's still like really a nice way to kind of bring attention to your hands. That for me, it stands out the most in my entire collection. This would be the one thing that I would get, is this ring stack. And I feel like ever since I got this one, I've been kind of wanting to get the same in the yellow gold one, in the yellow gold option. And the reason why I haven't done that yet, I'm putting yet in parentheses, is because, like I've mentioned before, I really feel like I do not wear my yellow gold jewelry that much. So that's kind of, you know, what stops me about this is like, well, do I really want to pay like another 2K or so for a ring that I'll wear like maybe once every, you know, again, like 6 weeks or 2 months? When I already have a ring that I wear, you know, every 6 weeks to 2 months. So do I want to, you know, make it have a friend for those like very few occasions? It really doesn't seem like it's that good of a use of my money. So that's kind of where I've been like not making this purchase. I did mention this. I believe it was in my updated luxury wish list from 2022. By the way, if you are interested in finding out the items that I wanted to get at that point, then I will go ahead and leave the link to that video in the little information link over here for you to see it. I think I mentioned that ring and then a bunch of like other jewelry and other handbags. But this has been an amazing purchase. I feel like this ring stack is really, really to die for. And I've kind of been satisfied, more or less, I would say, ever since, because you'll note that this is my last Cartier purchase. And I kind of haven't made any purchases after that for a while. I think this I got a year ago and I haven't gotten anything from Cartier anymore. I feel like I see my SA texting me a lot, kind of like, when are you coming back? We miss you. And I have to be honest, there's not a piece at this stage where I'm like, I absolutely have to have it. Like when I look at, you know, I'm trying to get a new pair of earrings or a new necklace, there's not a piece that really stands out for me that I've seen and where I'm like, okay, I really need to get it. It is amazingly beautiful. This would suit me so well. But if you do have a piece in mind, then I would love to hear your thoughts. So if you have a piece in mind, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm looking for either a pair of earrings or a new necklace in white gold. So I'm definitely open to Cartier options, but at this point I feel like I've been a little bit more into VCA, especially because I already have a few Cartier pieces, and I think that they match nicely with the VCA. Again, they kind of balance each other out. The VCA is very girly, the Alhambra motif, but then the Cartier has this like classic lines, very straight lines, straight shapes, very nice, you know, kind of standard. So I think that, again, they balance each other out. So for kind of every piece from Cartier that I have, I'm trying to get, you know, something from VCA to match it. So that's why I haven't seen any like Cartier unboxings recently, is because I've been like kind of debating. The one piece where I would see myself kind of, you know, breaking that rule and kind of breaking the bank would be to have the Justin Clou bracelet, the same as the one that you saw in yellow gold but in white gold. I'm dying to add it to my wrist stack, but it's just that like the price is a little discouraging. I think that we're around 13 or even 14K. That's very expensive, especially for daily wear. That's where I'm like, ugh, I'm not sure that I would like to have this piece for daily wear at 14K, simply because, you know, I already have the Cartier Love Bracelet. It's like, I think I've paid like 12K, something like that, like 11,900. But I mean, I don't really feel like, you know, I need another one of these in this price range for daily wear. So that's why I haven't really unboxed anything, but this is pretty much the current state of my Cartier collection. And it's obviously still a brand that I appreciate so much. So if you have recommendations, definitely please let me know, because I'm always open to it. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, but I also want to put it out here that I'm not doing this to necessarily brag or to say like, look at this amazing jewelry collection that I have, look at all of these pieces that I have. That's not the point. I'm not necessarily a bragger, or I don't think that I'm a bragger at all. That's not where it comes from. It's just more to show the pieces, to kind of talk about them, to see what went right, what went wrong, because obviously there are things that I would change if I could go back in time. You know, the Juste Bleu and yellow gold, I would not have spent that much money on a piece that I wear like a couple of times a year, let's be honest. So that was kind of, you know, what the intention was. I just wanted to clarify, because I do not want to have comments like, oh my gosh, you're bragging, or anything like this. So FYI, not bragging. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.